Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And my first stream quit unexpectedly for some reason. That's what my software told me, anyways. And so I figured that I'd just start up another one. Hopefully, this one fares better. So, good morning. I see Frank is here. Good morning, Frank, Lauren, Dan from Omaha. Good morning to Good morning to Shauna, Dennis, Veda, Susan, Frank, Brenda, Jean, April, Amanda. It is great to see you guys here today. Thanks for letting me know what your primary focus is for today. My primary focus today is to have a fantastic day at work and continue to move forward on this card project. So that is the two things that I'm going to be doing today. Thanks for answering those questions. Looks like let's see here. Looks like Frank's primary focus is to get through the day with as much positive energy as possible, and that is why we are here, Frank. You know that we are going to be here to really infuse our day with some positive energy. Let's see here. Brenda Jean says her primary focus for the day is to get in her walking exercise. So that's a wonderful thing. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Waleed. Walking exercise without being able to use your arms to support me. So peg leg nation. I see you on that peg leg, Brenda Jean. You get around just fine. So let me know if you need any help to get around or to lift things up or move things around today. I am here to help. Let's see. Lauren says her primary focus is to love on all the friends you haven't seen in a while. And I know you're over at the Valley there, Lauren. So there are lots and lots of friends who want to come give you a hug. And so let's get into our card for the day. I'm going to pull a card from my deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and I'd like you to say out loud, "I am that affirmation." As we say these things out loud, we make them real in our lives, and even more importantly than that, we get to change our internal narratives. I know that my internal narratives have gotten nothing but healthier as I have done this daily practice. So we're going to say it out loud. We're going to write it down. We're going to affirm it for each other. And we're going to have a really, really good day today. So let's have some fun. Brenda Jean's asking me to make the question of the day a lot bigger. I get, people do read this on a phone. I got to figure out like what the best way is of getting it so that it can broadcast on a phone, because I know a lot of people watch it on a phone while at the same time making it so that it's not, super large for the folks who are watching it on a bigger screen. Just out of curiosity, what kind of device do you watch this on? So if you watch it on a phone, let me know. If you guys primarily watch it on a phone, I will change it all up to be more appropriate for a phone. All right, so we are here to say some good stuff about us, and so let's just pull the card and say that today I am fulfilled. I am fulfilled. I find deep satisfaction in my journey. So I am fulfilled. I find deep satisfaction in my journey. Are you fulfilled? You are fulfilled. You find deep satisfaction in your journey. All right, guys, it is very obvious that you guys do this stuff mostly on a phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see about just modifying the graphics, modifying the question of the day, and just making this broadcast look better on making it look better on a phone. So thank you for that suggestion, Brenda Jean. It looks like only one person watches it on a laptop. All right, so I am fulfilled. I find deep satisfaction in my journey. And that's what fulfillment is all about. It's about being satisfied with where we are. People, when I was young, people asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, as if as if somehow growing up was the end goal. As if, just like, okay, well, right now you're a kid, and so you don't have full autonomy over yourself. But one day you'll be a grown up. And when you're a grown up, you'll finally be able to be everything you want to be. You'll be able to do everything you want to do. You'll have no restrictions. And of course, as we get to be grown-ups, the very first thing that we discover is we got all kinds of restrictions on our lives. There are things like laws and bills and social expectations and obligations and relationship and all of these other things that are in our lives as we get older. And so I've always thought that the question was a bit of a bullshit one. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? How about what do you want to be right now? How about how do you want to be literally in this moment? Purpose and meaning are found not in some nebulous future. They're found in the now moment. They're found in appreciating who we are and what we have and how we interact and who we are becoming. Purpose and fulfillment are found in the now moment. They're not found at some end of the rainbow. There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. People who are looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow are missing the fact that there's a rainbow. And so we have to understand that our healthy relationships and our personal growth and development is what makes us fulfilled. Our physical, our mental health is what makes us fulfilled. Balancing what we do for work and what we do for relationships and what we do for play and the self-care that we have, that kind of stuff is what makes us fulfilled. And so as we go through life, we do well to understand that fulfillment is an ongoing process, and that we can look at anything and feel happy about it or not happy about it. So something will happen, and then we decide what it means to us, and then after we do that, we decide how we're going to feel. Or it's not even so much that we decide how we're going to feel, but once we assign meaning to it, either consciously or subconsciously, at that point, we will have a feeling about it. And so a feeling of fulfillment comes from recognizing all the good stuff that is in our lives, recognizing that yesterday we were not as wise as we are today. We were not as experienced as we are today. We woke up this morning and we have another shot at life. We have another shot of doing it. I'm going through a situation right now where one of my dad is getting close to passing away, and one of the things that that he was talking about to my mom was, I have a lot of people to forgive. I have some things that I need to do inside of myself in order to be prepared for this transition. And it's so true, and how often we don't even consider that stuff until we get close to making that transition, to going to the other side. And so fulfillment is found in the day to day. It's not something that we'll one day attain and then all of a sudden we'll have no problems. I used to work in the financial biz, and one of the things that was very common in that business was that people would talk about their money stuff, and they would say something to the effect of, well, I'll finally be happy when I have X amount. I won't have to worry when I have $2 million. I won't have to worry when I have $10 million. And what I noticed was this pattern that no matter how much they had, they would say the same exact thing, that they always needed more in order to somehow be fulfilled. And they always had this idea that, well, I have $100,000, but if I had $200,000, I wouldn't have to worry. And then the person with $2 million would say, well, I have $2 million, but I'm just waiting until I have about $5 million, and then I can start living my life. The person with $5 million was looking for 10, and the person with 100 was looking for $1 billion. And it was just the most interesting thing, because I recognized that it was a thought pattern. It had nothing to do with the actual amounts. It was a thought pattern. So as we move on our journey of fulfillment, we recognize that it is the patterns of our thought that change our outlook on life. And so, as we cultivate the gratitude and the mindfulness, I find that I find that it's really important to for my own mental health, to gosh, I lost my train of thought there. That doesn't happen too often. So I'll just keep on going with something else. Fulfillment is something that that is an ongoing process. And so as we move through life, we have to understand that it's not something we will eventually achieve. I'm a fan of saying that the day that I am the ultimate version of myself is the day that I die, because I am constantly growing and evolving, and so are you, and so is everybody else. So that's what fulfillment is all about to me. Is that, fulfillment is about being happy with where I am, recognizing that where I am today is just a stepping stone for where I'll be tomorrow. And so long as I steward this moment properly, that I will be able to, I'll be properly set up for the next one. So I am fulfilled, and I find deep satisfaction in my journey. And you are too. And as we find that deep satisfaction, the people around us will be attracted to us because we have the thing that they seek. And it's very easy to help them understand that, it's not about having the stuff. It's not about having the accolades. It's not about what we do. It's about who we are and how we interface in this moment. Hey there, Kelly. I'm glad that you made it over here. So yeah, I'm fulfilled today. You're fulfilled, and I am just absolutely floored by the folks who surround me, and just how satisfied each and every one of us is in our lives, even as our lives are completely different. So I'm fulfilled today. You are fulfilled too. Let's just see here. So Brenna Jean says that I find quality time conversations with people are my main sources of deep satisfaction. Yeah, isn't that true, Brenna Jean? The greatest things in life are free. But in order to have quality time and deep conversations, you have to have relationship with somebody. You have to have intimacy with somebody in order to have that sort of a thing. And that's something that must be cultivated, and that's cultivated over a period of time. So let's see. Then you also say, I'm working on being very conscious, recognizing unconscious, subconscious shadow attitudes that work beneath the surface for every choice I make. Man, there's a field of thought in shamanism called shadow work, and that's basically just, for all of the brightness that we have inside of us, there's also a shadow that we cast. And it's really important to love and embrace that shadow, and recognize that the parts of us that we don't necessarily understand or like, that those parts of us are still there, and we can still love those parts, even if they cause us sometimes to act in ways that we don't really understand. And yeah, I am going to talk about aging parents. I will talk about death. I will talk about menopause, although it's not going to affect me, at least not personally. But certainly it affects me because a lot of my friends are going through it, or have gone through it, or will go through it one day. But I think that it's important to normalize having conversations about what happens at the end of life, and because we're all going to deal with it. So I mean, I know you're dealing with it right now, Dan. In fact, I wouldn't otherwise mention it, except that you did on the stream. Your primary focus today is to help Stacy, as her dad may pass today. I get it. My dad may pass today too. They gave him 2 weeks to live like 3 weeks ago, and we'll see. It's any day now. But I'm grateful that, all I can say is that I'm just grateful that he is not in pain as he is passing away, although it is a lot of work. So anyway, all right, guys, this has run for a bit long, and so I want to say thank you so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. I see it looks like a couple more folks joined. I saw that Kelly was here. I saw Dennis had come by as well. So good morning to you guys as well. I will return tomorrow at 9 a.m. for another wake-up call. We'll go through yet another one of these cards. Thank you, Brenda Jean. And yeah, and Kelly, you had the same a very similar interaction with your Survivorversary. Life can be hard, but it's still the best day ever. Absolutely. I know that you and Michael both are TBI survivors, traumatic brain injury. And so, yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. We will return with yet another positive affirmation. Thank you so much for all of your advice. I'm going to see about optimizing this broadcast for a phone, since I know a lot of people watch on it. So until then, I will talk to you later. And I love you and I care about you, especially all of you who are going through stuff, which, let's be real, is all of you and me too. So I will talk to you then. Aloha from paradise.